Welcome back to the Caribou Data Science channel. Today is October 1st, 2020. I'm getting ready to run my excuse me, my nightly random states report where I do a COVID-19 analysis on a randomly selected state. So let's go see who the lucky state is tonight. Maine, have we done Maine yet? Sounds vaguely familiar. We've done Maine. Have we done South Dakota? Okay, so we have a winner here. We got South Dakota, so let's open up R. Okay, so the lucky winner is South Dakota. COVID-19. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so here we go. Let's come back over here. Let's add in our header information. Let's try something a little different here. Let's try program and view pane. Okay, random state. Next we come down here. We'd like to import some data here. Let's pull our data for South Dakota. Okay, okay, all right. Let's just do some kind of fun here. Okay, let's just do some little kind of fun here. Oh, I don't have never mind, I don't have it installed. All right, so we know we got some data now. Let's take a look at this just to make sure. So now we can see here. Let's start back at the top. So their first case wasn't until March 11th when he had 3 cases. Wow, the first death wasn't until almost a month later. Interesting. Okay. Okay. So now there's going to be a whole lot of cutting and pasting going on here. So just hang in there, all right? Okay. So first we're going to look at cumulative cases and deaths. So let's take a look at this here then. Okay. So this is Delaware's cumulative cases. It really took off here about August, September. Deaths continue to decline. The deaths picked up here about May probably and really started to climb at that point. So now let's take a look at you know the daily totals for the cases. Hmm. Okay. You can't actually see the moving average anymore because it's pretty much covered up by the low S function. But what you can see here is the low S function is definitely showing a spike in cases. Deaths are a little flatter, but you can see here the last few weeks they've also had a spike in even deaths. Okay, wonder what them blue lines mean. But of course, the deaths. Oh my gosh, you got a spike in deaths. It spiked up to oh my gosh, it spiked up to goodness gracious, 8 deaths for one day. Okay, cases spiked up currently to as high as I don't know 550 or so. Let's run this here and see what happens again. That doesn't really do any good there. So let's just change that. There we go. All right. So what's the word in cases? Well, I mean, they are spiking up as high as 600. I mean, how many states wouldn't love to have that total for a day? The main thing is the trend line is still pointing upward as far as cases. Deaths following a period of pretty much flattening between 0 and, say, 5 deaths has spiked up the last few weeks, up as high as 8 deaths. All right. Next, let's take a look at the mortality rate for, for South Dakota. Okay. So the obvious case is we don't need that. Let's just see what happens here now. Up as much as 7.5%. Currently, it's in the 2 to 2.5 range. I'm not sure why this is all the way down there, but not quite. Of course, that doesn't make any sense, does it? You got this up here. Why is this way down here? I don't know. But anyway, we can look. Like I say, this is 2.5. So on average for the last, say, since mid-August, uh, the mortality rate has been between, say, 2 and 2.5. 1 point, in some cases even less than 1. So overall, I would say recently the mortality rate's looking very good. Let's take a look at weekly and monthly cases now. First, we'll look at weekly. Calculate the weekly totals. Let's come up here then. You can see, a continuous pretty much spike up in cases, weekly cases. This is 1,000. This is 1,500. This is 2,000. This is 3,500 cases. Although this current week appears to be dropping down a little bit. Deaths. Well, deaths are what? This is 10. That's 15. This is 12. So overall, the deaths, again, this is at most this is 20 deaths per week. I mean, how many states would love to have these numbers? 2,000 cases and 20 deaths a week or something like that. Next, let's take a look at monthly cases. Let's calculate monthly numbers now. Take a look at the monthly. You can see that September cases really spiked, but again, it's just take a look at deaths. Okay, so halfway between, I don't know, 5,000 and 7,500. What's halfway? So what's half of 2,500? So it's plus. So 7,000 plus 2,500, maybe 10,000 cases, but only 20, 30, 40, 50, let's say 60 cases for September. So I would say overall, even though we have a spike in deaths here, still it's under 60 deaths for the month of September. So I don't know. I just think at some point we have to say, you know what? They're not doing a bad job. Okay? They're not doing a bad job. Let's do this. Let's do a cases. Actually, do this. Divided by the sum of. So what is it? For the month, it's what the mortality rate is what, 0.92%, right? For 9%? I don't think it's that high, is it? No, because so it's actually 0.9%. The overall mortality rate is 0.9%, less than 1%. So that's doing pretty good. I mean, how many states would love to have a mortality rate under 1%? Okay, all righty. Okay, so let's come back up to the mortality rate. Let's just put the mortality rate. Okay, let's get rid of this here, and it's 0.009%, and there it is. The mortality rate. So for the average mortality rate for South Dakota is less than 1%. Even with these spikes here, there's so many lows in between here. Now, obviously, there could be a problem here. We could be missing some data. These may not be zero. Nonetheless, I mean, what more do we have to say? Okay. South Dakota, you're okay in my book. Keep up the good work. South Dakota, if you're watching this, don't forget the mask, social distancing, personal lockdowns. Keep up the good work, and your numbers will continue to fall, and your death rate will continue to fall. Thanks so much for your time this evening, folks. We'll catch you tomorrow on the next Random States report.